back, shifting focus to the national capital, where a meeting of chief ministers and deputy chief ministers of NDA rule state is currently underway. Now, in all, about 20 chief ministers and 18 deputy chief ministers belonging to all 20 state governments ruled by the National Democratic Alliance have arrived in the national capital in a day-long brainstorming session on good governance in the capital. Now, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi heads the meet, BJP President JP Nadda. All right, so these are the visuals of that particular NDA meet that is going to take place now. Remember, yesterday it was a Niti Aayog meeting where all the chief ministers across the country were part of the particular Niti Aayog meeting yesterday. And today this is the NDA Chief Ministers meeting where about 20 chief ministers of the NDA and deputy chief ministers, around 18 of them, are in fact part of this particular meeting. I'm now joined by CNN News 18's Arun Datta on this broadcast. Arun, what is the main agenda as far as this NDA CMs meeting is concerned?
Well, see, the meeting of the chief ministers of NDA is very important because, Sharon, this is the first meeting after India conducted the Operation Sindoor and the subsequent actions against Pakistan. Remember, last time around this conclave happened in 2024 in Chandigarh. So we're given to understand there will be two resolutions which will be passed in this today's meeting. One, of course, will be on Operation Sindoor, in which everybody will congratulate Prime Minister Modi and the armed forces. And the second resolution will be on the caste enumeration which the government has announced. So these two resolutions will be passed. And essentially, apart from these things, the importance of this meeting is related to the implementation of central schemes. There will be a major focus on how well central government flagship schemes are being implemented in various states. This will, of course, include the discussions on the status of those schemes, and also if there are any challenges which states are facing, how can that be tackled? What could be the strategies to have a better delivery on the ground for the benefit of people? So all these things will be discussed in this meeting. We all know some of the important schemes of the central government, the Jal Jeevan Mission, to provide water to every tab in the country, and also, of course, the Swachh Bharat campaign, the health-related schemes which is being run by the central government. So the status of that also be discussed. We are also given to understand that the states, the chief ministers, NDA rule chief ministers, will be allotted a specific time to give presentation on certain topics. And also this is a very good example, as Prime Minister Modi has been highlighting, of the cooperative federalism, the cooperation between center and the state, and also importantly, not between center and the state, but coordination between different states. If some state is doing good in one particular thing, that can be copied by the other states, and to ensure that how that can be done in the other states. So all these things will be part of this day-long meeting, and the entire mission, of course, of such meeting is to make India Viksit by 2047. Even yesterday we saw that Niti Aayog Governing Council meeting which happened in Delhi, in which all the chief ministers took part. That meeting theme was also about Viksit Rajya for Viksit Bharat 2047. So I think all these things will be discussed in this today's meeting. This is an important meeting, of course, in the backdrop of the Operation Sindoor which India conducted. And also perhaps you will see after this meeting, once these chief ministers will go back to their states, they will, of course, ensure that the message of Operation Sindoor reach to the public as to how this operation was conducted by the government and, of course, by the forces.
And as we speak, we are in fact getting visuals of how JP Nadda is in fact handing over a bouquet to the Prime Minister. So clearly congratulating him on Operation Sindoor as well. But Arun Datta, when we talk about the two resolutions that in this particular meeting will be passed, one will be on Operation Sindoor, commending on the kind of efforts that has been, valor that has been shown by the armed forces. And the second one is on the caste enumeration. If you could actually briefly tell us about how the caste enumeration will have an impact, and what does the other NDA CMs thinks about this decision?
Well, everyone is on board with the government, and they have, in fact, made it clear, even at that point in time when government announced this, that caste census will take place in the country on the the timeline, of course, is not clear. It will take some time, but the fact of the matter is that government has shown its intention that they are interested in the caste enumeration. Remember that the likes of Rahul Gandhi and various other opposition parties were raising this question that why government is shying away from caste enumeration, why they're not going for the caste census. And in fact, if you remember in the states like Bihar, Telangana, they've already they'd already conducted caste census in their state. So, government of India has also thought of doing it, and now it has been announced. So I think this will also be discussed in this meeting, and of course the resolution will be passed in this regard. Of course, congratulating the union government on this decision, the landmark decision, and of course beside this you will have Operation Sindoor is something, one of the biggest operations that India conducted in past couple of days, because this time around it's not the POK that you have targeted. It's not Balakot or Uri strikes. This time around, you've entered into Pakistan more than 100 kilometers. You've targeted their terror infrastructures there. In fact, when Pakistan retaliated, the action, in fact, was taken on the military bases. That was a clear message which was sent by India that if you try to do any misadventure, then the lethal action can be taken against Pakistan. So I think this NDA Chief Ministers Conclave is very important. And this has been a regular exercise to be in touch with different states. And on regular intervals, we see such meetings are taking place sometimes in Delhi or perhaps in other states also. Because last time around, I remember the Chief Ministers Conclave of NDA took place in Chandigarh. Prime Minister Modi, JP Nadda, Home Minister Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, they all were present at that point in time, and even today, all of them are present. So this meeting is very important, not only about these two resolutions that we discussed, but also about the other
two resolutions will be passed in this particular NDA Chief Ministers meeting that is in fact underway at this moment. We'll keep coming back to you, Arun, for the latest. Many thanks. Now moving on.